all you beautiful souls, it's Tan, back with another astrology video, and in today's video I'm going to talk about the Libra rising or the Libra Ascendant and the Aries Descendant or Aries 7th house. So if you haven't watched my introduction video on the rising signs or the Ascendant, then I would suggest you watch that one first. I'm going to post a link up there. Because if you just jump right in and watch this video, it's not going to make much sense. If you go to astro.com or Cafe Astrology and you get a chart that looks like this or this, so on the left side, ASC Ascendant, you have this symbol, which is Libra. On the right side, the Descendant, you have this symbol, which is Aries. Then you have a Libra rising or Ascendant. They're the same thing. For the purpose of this video, I'm just going to call it a rising instead of Ascendant, because it's easier. So you do need a specific time of birth for this. You could be born any time of the year, have any sun sign, and have a Libra rising. So you need the specific time that you were born. If you have a Libra rising, then you have Venus, the planet of love, ruling your whole chart and ruling your life's journey, which means that you're also going to have a Libra personality. The rising sign governs your physical appearance. With the Libra rising, you tend to have sparkly eyes or very flirty kind of eyes. Whereas I mentioned before, the Gemini rising has mischievous eyes, the Cancer rising has watery eyes, the Libra rising has flirty, sparkly eyes. They tend to like to leave their hair long and straight, and they tend to have a lighter tint to their hair. Even if they are from like an Asian family, they tend to be kind of more on the light brown side of the scale. Sorry, they're more on the dark brown side of the scale rather than black hair. They tend to have a very symmetrical face and symmetrical body. So the body shape tends to be very good, and the face tends to look very pleasing and nice. And kind of, when I see a Libra rising person's face, I kind of feel like there's nothing wrong with your face. Why is everything just so perfectly put there? You know what I mean? You like to touch people a lot. Like when you're talking to them, you just kind of like touch their arms, something like that. The men tend to have a more feminine look about them. Like metrosexual men might have Libra risings. The women tend to have a more masculine look about them, especially like in their jawlines, or like maybe they have broader shoulders, something like that. Because, you know, Libra is all about balance, so if you're going to be a man, you're going to need something feminine to balance you out, and vice versa. So I like to use the sunglasses analogy when I'm talking about rising signs, because the rising sign is how you see the world. So with a Libra rising, when you're wearing your sunglasses, the filter that is the filter of your sunglasses would likely be the color pink. Now the reason why I've chosen the color pink is I don't believe that pink is a woman's girly color. All right, that's just a social it's just a social, you know, construct. The reason why I've chosen pink is because I do think, however, it represents the color of love. So the Libra rising tends to, so as a Libra rising, you approach the world in this way. You approach with a very pleasant manner. You see the world as a place of beauty and love. And people tend to see you that way as well. Also appear to be love orientated, especially the men, the women as well. They like to talk about love, they like to talk about your relationships, like to express, you know, however you're feeling with your significant other to like maybe your friend, something like that. Very kind of relationship oriented.
The cover, there's a drawing of a girl. Yeah. There's you, I saw your drawing.
That's me.
And then who's that?
That's sort of like her. You know what I mean? It's sort of the spiritual her. Mm-hmm. It's memory, it's fantasy, it's what you want to see, it's what the brain sees. It's sort of it's the other. It's the spiritual sort of other.
It's not somebody that you've seen before?
In my mind, one way or another.
So that's what you're looking for?
That's sort of the representation of.
Have you found, are you in a relationship?
Nope, I thought of this the other day, like, I thought of it on Valentine's Day. You don't have to be with someone to be together. and I'm enjoying being together.
Oh, I see what you mean.
You know what I mean? Wordplay.
Yeah.
Wordplay.
Got it.
So,
But love on the
enjoying-
weekend, I thought you
Yeah.
were driving off with somebody that put her feet up when you were driving and stuff.
That's a total thing that I've had in flashes and want more of.
I see.
You know.
Yeah.
Have you have those still? The world is your oyster. You drive. You go up the coast. You go up to.
I don't know. I'm married. I'm in
But
a.
you have those moments. But you have those moments.
She puts her feet up. Yeah, Portia
Yeah,
puts her feet up and we drive.
You road trip? You
Yeah.
still road trip? You go away for a weekend and road
yes,
trip?
we do.
Yeah, it's great.
Yeah.
That's what I miss.
I see.
So a lot of the times I see the men appear to be kind of like a bachelor or like a Casanova, searching for a woman, something like that. Whereas the woman can be a little bit flirty, charming, and a cutesy, you know, kind of woman. You like to dress very sleek and minimal. You know, you like to be trendy in a minimalistic kind of way. You might like to wear black and white, and that would be like enough for you as long as, you know, it looks put together very well. A lot of the times a Libra rising says something to you, and I'm not really sure if they mean it or if they're just saying it to please you. So that's kind of a funny thing that you have going on as a Libra rising. So I also like to use the other analogy, which is the chick hatching out of the egg, because the rising sign forms and develops from the moment that you came out of your mother's womb all the way into like 8 months, 1 year old. So it's basically how you approach, you see the world for the very first time. It's like the chick coming out of the egg. So the rising sign is how you know, approach every new situation that happens in your life. With the Libra rising, you tend to be a chick that comes out of the egg in a pleasing way, as to not disturb other people. So you might be the chick that's like coming out, and when you come out, you clean up after your own eggshells, you know, because you don't want to cause any kind of conflict or make other people feel uncomfortable cleaning up after your own mess. You know what I mean? You're very pleasant to be around, you can be very agreeable, and you don't like any kind of rudeness. You don't like to swear. Some Libra risings might like to swear, but depending on other things that might be going on in their first house, but a lot of them kind of just don't like the coarseness of like swearing and things like that. But you have this really funny thing as a Libra rising, whereas like you don't like people saying bad things about other people, but sometimes you like to gossip. You know, you can be the kind of person that would just be like with one person and gossiping about, hey, like, you know, I just saw B doing blah, 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 blah. And then this person will be gone and be like, hey, B, how are you doing? And, you know, just because you want to make everybody happy, even though you might not mean what you say. So in a way, you might come across to people as being superficial or shallow, but really, you're just kind of trying to make everybody happy, you know? You have a spiritual approach to the way you take care of your health. A lot of Libra risings do this, like they like to eat natural food, organic food. Instead of exercising, they might do yoga. You know, they approach health in this kind of a way. They're also very fond of mysticism, occult, psychology, you know, things like that.
And you walk outside, and then all these scenes, you know, even this morning I woke up, and a lot of scenes where, you know, you close your eyes and you go through some scenes, and they are astonishing.
That was the great thing about the screenplay. Initially, was it's a very simple, you know, storyline. It's a man that, you know, loses everything and has to find this, you know, has this initial journey of revenge to confront the person that has stripped him of his entire life. And we knew that that was a great sort of model for something much more poetic or existential. And we wanted to go into this journey, and I think Alejandro had it stuck in his mind. He couldn't really articulate, but he said the answers are going to be there when we're on location, when we start to live these people's lives. And that's why he wanted to shoot it in order as much as possible, because so much of what the narrative was dictated by us being there, having those experiences, having the interactions with the the Native Americans, and the whole ending changed. The whole film sort of changed and took new forms. And
so because Aries is the opposite side of Libra, on your Descendant, your 7th house, your house of partnerships, you tend to attract similar partners, and the partner that you attract tends to be very Aries-like. They're not necessarily going to have an Aries sun, though they could have, but they tend to have a flavor about them that's very much like an Aries. A lot of the times you may attract athletes, you may attract people who are a bit assertive, people who are very independent, and who might be a bit, whom you would consider to be maybe a bit rude, or just come across as very, very strong, very Mars-like a warrior-like. And then you start thinking about everybody in the world as being really, really angry and aggressive all the time and selfish, whereas you as a Libra rising feel that you are always being nice to everybody. But why is my partner being too direct with everybody and not being diplomatic enough? So an imagined conversation that could be going on between a Libra rising and their Aries partner could be something like this. The Libra rising might say, "Baby, are you still angry about whatever the thing that we did yesterday?" And the Aries-like partner might say, "Yes, as a matter of fact, I think we need to take a bit of a break from our relationship." The Libra rising might say, "What?" But then the next day, they might realize that they're actually kind of turned on or attracted by this push and pull in the relationship. Ultimately, you as a Libra rising like someone that challenges you. You don't like a boring person. But sometimes when you're looking for somebody who's going to challenge you and not be boring, you get someone who's also going to kind of be too independent because they have so much that they want to do with their life. But you like this. So throughout the Aries-like partner, the Libra rising realizes that they themselves are also the kind of person that likes, that is not always pleasant, that they are willing to take charge when they have to. However, as I always say, when you're trying to think about a partner who is going to show you your shadow side, you know, the partner's going to come and they're going to hold this mirror at the back of your head and they're going to say, "Hey, look, you got this thing at the back of your head you never knew you had." And you're going to be kind of like, "I hate you, you're not supposed to tell me this." So the best way to be able to accept your shadow side is to do shadow work by yourself before you actually get into a partnership. Because when you discover your shadow side by yourself, you're more willing to accept it, all right? So then when you come together with this Aries-like partner, you're a whole person, they are a whole person, and you can be together in this complete relationship without having to feel hatred for the other person. You can bring out your own fiery nature, feistiness by yourself, by doing what you want to do when you want to do it. Because even if you try to do what you want to do when you want to do it, you'll find that you'll still be very caring of other people and not wanting to go against them. So it's okay, Libra risings, just do what you want to do, so you'll be ready for when you have to be in a partnership with somebody. So I think that's my take on the Libra rising or ascendant and the Aries descendant. If you have a Libra rising and you would like to share your experiences, then please leave a comment below. I would love to read it. If you like this kind of content and haven't yet subscribed to my channel, then feel free to hit the subscribe button and turn on your notifications to know when I post new videos. And I will see you in the next video. Bye.